All right. So as we're going along here, if somebody could just kind of be in charge of the chat and put in the appropriate links when people need the appropriate links here. So today we're going to go over something called Adobe Express. It used to be called Adobe Spark. So if I call it Adobe Spark, it's the same thing as Adobe Express. It's just the old name. And it's set up by Adobe, the company Adobe, and it's a way to make digital posters, websites, as well as videos. And so really creative ways for using technology in the classroom. And some of these are, you can be as basic as you want. So those students that are not as adept at the computer, they can make really good products simply. But then it could be as intricate as you want as well. And so those people that are really artistic or creative, they can really show off their abilities in kind of an easy way here. So we're going to go ahead and I'll show you kind of get started here. We'll kind of take different little projects at a time. So we'll start off with a video, and we'll work on a video for a little bit, and then we'll take a look at websites and then posters as well. And then we'll also take a look at another website. It's very similar to Adobe called Canva as well. All right, so first, let me go ahead and put in another link. Okay, there's another link here to kind of get, and that's to get to the website, Adobe Express. So we'll kind of show that off as well. All right, so the first thing we'll take a look at is a video. And I first was kind of using the video during distance learning. So that's why I kind of was using the video aspect the most. And we're kind of using persuasive advertisements and as well as chapter summaries. And this was good for during distance learning because I could hear the students could record their own voice onto the video. So I could hear the students' voices during distance learning. And it's a kind of a Google slide type of presentation. So it's kind of more of a PowerPoint. The way I use it's more of a PowerPoint videos, and it's kind of an automatic ones, and they could add there to the Google Classroom. So all these assignments I load up onto the Google Classroom, and I give them the link to the Adobe Spark. So this would be like a sample assignment on the Google Classroom. So in English, we kind of teach rhetoric, and rhetoric is kind of the art of persuasion. And so we kind of use that in the high school, all the different ones. And let's see. Ooh, I don't know about the client sign-in sheet. So there you go. Thanks, Janelle. So a lesson that I would say would be something like using rhetoric and rhetorical devices, create an advertisement campaign for a futuristic phone or car or whatever they want to sell. And so persuade customers to turn in their old phones and purchase the new version of their phone. So why should a customer buy this new phone? And so in this assignment, they'd have to appeal to logos. And so what are the facts and evidence of this new futuristic phone or car? And appeal to ethos. And what's the credible authority? And appeal to pathos. And how is the customer going to suffer without their new phone? Or what emotions are associated with the new product? So in the English lesson, we talk about rhetoric and the old ancient Greek terms of logos, pathos, and ethos. And then I also want them to add some rhetorical devices like allusions or rhetorical questions, hyperbole or simile or metaphors or repetition. And so what I have them do is create a radio advertisement as such. And so they could write the speech, they'll air on the radio, and then they could record their voice, and they could add little images onto the Adobe Spark video. So we'll take a look at some sample students. So this would, like, this is what the students made. So, they're not perfect, but it'd be a typical Alvarez high school student and what they could make. Right? And so the first one, we'll take a look at an ad for a VW van. And let me go ahead and mute myself.
It's here, the new Volkswagen Buzz. No need to waste money in an old rusty van when you could buy the new automatic van. Go on family vacations with the most comfortable seats and the greatest amount of space. If you don't buy it now, you will be missing a big opportunity because there's only a limited amount of these amazing vans. Don't be left out. Buy it now so you could have the most adventurous, spectacular memories while traveling with family and friends. Buy it now before it's too late.
Right. So it's kind of a simple little video that they make, and it's it could take as little as 15 minutes in the classroom, or if you want to, it could be you could create it even longer. And so this will be a little cell phone ad. So I'll take a look at this one as well.
Is your old phone giving you problems? Do you want a top-tier phone but at an affordable price? If that's the case, then the new LG phone is the right phone for you. The LG phone is coming this Saturday. Yes, this Saturday to your local stores. This new state-of-the-art LG phone has a camera that is as good as the iPhone 11 Pro and comes with 128GB storage. This new phone also has been tested and is reliable, durable, fits perfectly on your hand and pocket, and is even waterproof. Each phone comes equipped with a screen protector and a free pair of earbuds. Starting price for this new phone is $599, but get yours this Saturday and this Saturday only for $499. If it breaks, the first repair is on us. This phone will not disappoint you, so I say get yours now.
So with these little videos, you could add music quite easily to the background and images. You could add words, right? So this one, I'm not the most, this aspect of Adobe Express, I'm not the most adept at. So we just kind of make similar to like PowerPoint ads, but there are ways to make videos that are more video-like. And we'll take a look at one more sample. So this is kind of simple, students do. This is something we teach kind of at the beginning of the year, the use of rhetoric and ethos, logos, and pathos. So this would be something that students make like in the first month. And so I kind of introduce them to this as well. So we'll take a look at one more ads, one more.
Hey, hey, hey! Aren't you tired of your iPhone always freezing up and taking forever to load? Well, I've got just the thing for you. The new iPhone 11 is meant for you. I know you may be thinking, it's just like any other iPhone, but I'm here to tell you it's not. The iPhone 11 doesn't take forever to load. You can switch your data up and down every month. It comes with 512 gigabytes. That's right, you heard me, 512 gigabytes. That's enough to last you a lifetime. Just think about what will happen if you don't get this iPhone. All those important calls and emails are going to be breaking up and taking forever to load. Also, you're always going to have to be worrying about whether you have enough storage or not. Don't you want to make sure you never run out of storage room for all those pictures you take capturing amazing moments with your families and loved ones? Go now and buy the new iPhone 11. It will have you bursting with joy.
All right, so with those student samples, we can kind of see videos, how to make videos. So now we're going to make your own video. So we'll get a chance to play with the video aspect. So you want to go to Adobe Express and so we'll click the link to go to Adobe Express. You're going to log in with your Gmail account. So log in with your teacher Gmail account. And you might have to fill in some questions to register. So you're an educator, and so you'll be doing these assignments for classroom work. And so there's some things to kind of fill in to get you used to. And there's a question, are students limited by the amount of time they can record? I'm not really sure. We'll see if the, I've never had a problem with the students making videos, but I only have the students make like 10-minute videos. So I don't have them make super very long videos. And so we'll get to explore this, video making. So I'll show you how to kind of get started, and then we'll have a chance to play on your own. And you're able to select templates and add slides and music and images and the link to the slide and voice recordings. And then I always put this on a Google Classroom, right? So I give the link on the Google Classroom with the assignment instructions on the Google Classroom. And then for the video, when they're done, the students are able to create a link for their video. And then they add the link to the Google Classroom assignment page. And so everything's contained on that Google Classroom assignment page. So it's very easy to see the links and the videos, and it's all organized with that Google Classroom. And so it's very relatively easy to grade and see and use as well. All right. So when you're able to log in and sign up, this is the home page for Adobe Express. It used to be called Adobe Spark. And there's a plus button at the top left. The top left, that plus button, if you ever want to add anything to any of your projects, you always want to look at that plus sign. Projects are automatically saved. So whatever you're working on, whether it's a video, a poster, or a website, it's under projects. So students, when they are working on something and they have to come back to it, they just look at their projects and then they can continue working from there as well. But for us today, we're going to start with a video. So I'm going to hit that plus sign at the top left. And there are lots of things to make. Right? So I'm going to make a video here. So I'm going to scroll down, and at the very bottom, there's something that says video, maybe. And
Kathleen, the same thing happened to me. I was actually logged into 2 accounts, and it was my personal account. So if you log out of your other account and make sure you're logged into your school account, it will work.
Thank you.
all right. Thanks for taking care of everybody. It takes a little kind of, with the Wi-Fi and everything. So it takes a little while to kind of get everything organized, but you always start off with the title. So, you could, if I was doing an advertisement, right? So I would call this like a car advertisement. Maybe you want to have the students create like a video of themselves at the beginning of the year, and you want to have the students tell about themselves, and they could create a little video about themselves. I know I've had students, when we read To Kill a Mockingbird, I had them create a little video about the trial, and they kind of wrote a little video, create little scenes of the different characters that presented at the trial and what they presented, right? So it could be, you know, whatever you're kind of making. So maybe I'm going to make a car advertisement. So you can start off with that. Now, there's templates, and these templates, this is a great way if you have like, don't really know what to create a video on, and you just want to have the students kind of figure out. These little videos kind of get an idea on how to create their videos there, right? So they could promote an idea, tell what happened, hero's journey, right? So these little templates are a great way to, get started. So if they don't need to, or if not, they could always make up one on their own, and that's start from scratch, right? So we could do that as well. So you can kind of choose. I know promote an idea, that's kind of the car ad I've had. I've had one where they had to in the junior English, they made a video convincing the colonists to rebel against the British when we were studying Thomas Jefferson, right, and the speech at Virginia Convention. So there's different little things you could do, right? So you might start off with a little template to get the students started first. That's a good way to get started. And so, or you could start from scratch, right? And so it'll take a while to get loaded. So yeah, again, at the beginning of the year, if you want to have the students create a little video about themselves, kind of, get to know the students, they could do that as well. Okay, so here we have our little video screen. So again, at the very bottom, there's a little plus sign. The plus sign, this is how you add slides. So you can click on the plus sign and that'll add slides to it. On each slide, you can, kind of at the middle, there's that plus button. So you can add video, text, photo, images, right? So if I click on the T for text, right? So this is where I can type in my words, right? And so I can type in my words there. And I could change the font size, plus or negative. Right, so it's very basic, but it helps the students. It's not too overwhelming for the students here. At the bottom right of the slide, that's the slide timer, so that they could add more seconds to the slide on how that's presented. Let's see, we can change the screen over on the right side. So if you want to have like a split screen, so you could have words on one side and you can have an image on the other. To add an image, so this is a very easy way to add images is choosing the photo icon. So adding images with the photo icon, you can download images from the internet and upload them. Or Adobe Spark also has free photos. And so you can so you could upload a photo, or Adobe Spark has millions of free photos. And so you could kind of just pick and search, maybe so I could pick car, and then I could see like what images of cars come up. And this would be like a free, simple way of just choosing a photo that's easy to use, and I could add it quite easily that way. Let's see, over on the top right, we have layouts. So that's going to be the different types of PowerPoint slides to use. Theme, so this is different types of fonts, different colors of the background you could choose. Right, so you can change the themes. There's something called resize. You can make a widescreen or square. And then music. So there's different music you could add to the background there. When you're all done kind of adding your slides, you can kind of hit the preview button and kind of see how your slide is. And then if you're ready to upload, when you're all done, you would hit the share button and you would hit the publish button. And then when you publish something, you always have to pick a category. So always pick education. And then you create a link. When you create a link, that gets the link and you're able to then copy the link and then add it to the Google Classroom. This is the trickiest part for students. Students have the, for some reason, students have a hard time creating a link and then adding it to the Google Classroom. So sometimes that needs a little extra help in the classroom. All right, so we will take a, we'll take till 10:45, so give you a kind of 20 minutes. I'll let you go ahead and play around on Adobe Spark Video and see if you can make a video. So you can make a video about yourself. If you want to show a video to the students on the first day, you could show them a little video about yourself. Or you could make a little advertisement or come up with a video for other assignments. And let's see, Michelle has her hand raised. Go ahead.
Hi, is there a way to add our students to our account so we can see what they're doing throughout the process?
Good question. I'm not really sure. So
Okay.
that one I don't know. I just have the students make their own accounts and then add it to the Google Classroom.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So there is a way for the student to share with the teacher. Let's see.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
I can
Yeah.
look into that. Thank you very much.
Sure. All right. So we'll give you till 10:45 and I'll stay online if you have questions, but go ahead and feel free to explore the world of Adobe Spark Video.
I have a question, Steve.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I inserted a picture and I'd be adding text to narrate the picture, but the picture so far it's set to 4 seconds. Oh wait, I bet I just changed. Okay, never mind. I answered my own question by the time I finished asking it.
Perfect. Yeah. The video one, I'm not the most adept at the video. So
I wanted the picture to stay on the screen to match the narration. And so I was wondering how to change that timing. And there's a little picture of a clock in the lower right corner. If you click on that, you can change how long that slide stays on.
Correct.
Yeah.
There should be, I forgot to point out the microphone feature. Students can record their voices and they could read the text. And so then they could do it that way. I know the microphone limit, if they record their text, it's 30 seconds per slide. So the microphone, so if they have like a big long script, they have to break the script up into several slides so they could have enough time to read the script on each slide.
Hey, Steve. Hey, would you mind going back and just showing how to get to this specific section? I found how to get to a project, but it wasn't the same as this one.
Okay, so if I'm at the home screen, so I go back to home, I hit the plus button at the top left. And I'll scroll down to video at the very bottom.
All right, it loaded up. Thanks a lot.
Okay, yeah, so just a little slow this morning. Yeah, so Kathleen, so I choose video, and you give your video a little title. So maybe you want to tell about yourself at the beginning of the year to your students. So you do teacher introduction. And then you could choose a template. So you could choose a template to tell that kind of gives kind of ways to get started, or you could go at the bottom and start from scratch. But let's say you want to tell what happened. Let's say you want to say something happened to you this summer. Right. And so then at the very bottom, there's like little templates to kind of get your idea started on, like a little story that you could tell about yourself that happened this summer. Or you could have the students create a little story about what happened to them this summer. And then those little slides will help them out. And then over on the right are the different tools. So we have the layout, the theme, and the music. And in the middle here, the microphone, you can record your voice. And at the bottom right of the slide is how to make the video, the slide last a little bit longer. And Albert, I'm not really sure what to do. I would just kind of log out and log back in.
Any questions? Steve, how do you change the formatting, like center or left or right orientation?
Let's see. I believe it's going to be under layouts. Yeah. So for this one, it's just going to be. Let's see what happens.
Because everything right now is all set to center.
Right. Yeah, you're gonna have to play around some more with the different layouts, or it could be, yeah. I'm not sure. So I have to kind of play around there. So I think, yeah, the best one would be kind of like the split screen would be have the little different look. But yeah, it's going to be pretty much centered.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so it's not going to be as it's not going to have as many tools as say like PowerPoint. So it's good. It's a little more simplistic that way.
Okay.
See, and Kathleen, kind of over on the top right, I just kind of choose my music. So I just kind of click on which music I like. And there's a little toggle for the music where you can have music on or music off. So if the music is on, then I can pick which music I like. I believe it's music for all.
Hi, Steve. I tried to copy a picture and try to paste it in the slide, but it's not doing it.
Yeah, so the best way to add your own pictures would be to go to the internet and download the photo. So download what image you want, and then for where the after you download your picture, where the photo option is, then you can then upload it. So I don't know exactly how copy and paste works on this one, but the best way to do it is to download an image from the internet and then upload it. So we're under photos where it says upload photo. That'd be the easiest way to do it.
It's not in the internet. It's in my Google Drive. So can I upload it from the drive?
Yeah. So you so download the photo from your drive and then upload it to the Adobe Spark.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Sure. All right, so it's 10:45, so we'll kind of go on to the another aspect of Adobe Express or Adobe Spark is called a web page. And so you can, it's kind of easy. So, you know, it takes a few seconds to learn, but kind of a lifetime to master type of things. But the video I like for presentations, and so if students are you know, a little nervous, they don't want to present in front of the room, this helps them present something without being nervous and being scared to present in front of the room. So some students like to use that video option that way. Something else I like to use on Adobe Express is called a web page. And so a web page is a very simplistic, very simple, just a simple web page that the students are able to make. And so for a web page, if the students have like a report to give, so instead of writing a research paper, I'll have the kids make a web page. And so it's a little different. So it'd be, so if they have like a lot of information to give, so they could make it in a web page. And so that'll be, you know, a little different than writing a research paper. So some of the kids will be more interested in that. So in English 11, there's a unit on transcendentalism and as well as the Harlem Renaissance. And so there's questions the students are supposed to answer about those two movements. And so there's articles to read, and then there's questions to answer. And so they have to answer their questions. And so instead of just using a you know, piece of paper and answering the questions, I have to put those answers on a web page, and so they could do it that way as well. Or in English 9, the students have to learn about a college. So I could have the students choose a college and make a web page about that college. And so they have to research, find out information about that college, and then put it on the web page. Also in 9th grade English, I'll have the students research, find out about Shakespeare during Romeo and Juliet, and they find out about Shakespeare's language tricks. So I have them take a look at that famous balcony speech with Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? And they have to find a use of a simile and a metaphor and his allusions and irony. And so I have them find an example of those different little elements, and then they add it onto the web page. And then on this web page, they can easily add photos and information as well. So for example, this transcendentalism, so for English 11, I give them some links. So I on the Google Classroom. So I give them links to read about transcendentalism. And then the lesson in Springboard, our textbook, it says, you know, to answer those questions. So I have the students, you know, type in their answers for the different questions that they did their research. And then I just have them copy and paste their information onto a web page. So for example, take a look at, so we'll take a look at Valeria's sample. And so the web page comes as links. And so after reading about transcendentalism and answering those questions, they make this little web page, right? And so they can put a little title, and they can add a little picture, and they can put down their name. And then, right, so I have them write down the question, and then they give their answer. What did they find? And so they could add the little image, they can add pictures with the words to go with that. And so we can add images and words, and you know, it's a fun way to put down their answers. So instead of just putting it on a simple piece of paper, right, they can make their they can make something more artistic and more creative with the information, and they put it on a web page. Right? And so the students have fun finding the different images to kind of go with their web page there. And we can take a look at one more sample. Right. So, right. So just kind of, it's kind of set up for, you know, this would not be good for like an essay or anything, but it's just kind of a brief information with pictures there. And so if you have a lot of information, instead of like on a poster, you can put it on a web page there. And so it's kind of a simplistic web page design that way. All right. So again, so to create a web page, we kind of go to Adobe Spark and we'll hit the, I guess it's more purplish now than blue plus sign, and we'll make a web page. And so you want a little title section and add a photo. And then we could add text and photos. And then again, at the end, when the students are done, there's a way to publish and create a link and add the link to the Google Classroom. All right, so we'll go back to the back to the Adobe Spark, the home page. And again, on this home page, everything that the student saves is going to be under the projects. So if they're working on something, they save it to it's going to be at their project, so they can get started on there. And so I'll hit the plus sign, the top left. And this time I want to make a web page. So I'm going to scroll down to where it says web page. And so we can kind of add a title there, right? And so if I'm, I don't know, researching the Harlem Renaissance. So I can type in the research on the Harlem Renaissance, and then my subtitle. So I always put down, you know, the student's name so I know who did the assignment. Then down at the bottom, there's a little plus sign. So we can add a photo to the title. And so we could add something there. So again, similar to the video, they could download a photo from the internet, or they could kind of choose a free photo. And so, I know Harlem Renaissance has to do with jazz music. So I could kind of find a music, something to represent jazz, right? And so I can kind of pick and choose and see if there's something for the Harlem Renaissance with jazz music. So I don't know. So maybe I could choose that photo. Okay. So now I can then scroll to start writing my story. And so again, now I can kind of put down my bits of information. So the text, so I'll write down, I can add in the text on what do I want them to write there, right? So I can put down some information. So notice this text box has more tools than the video there. And so, I'd write about, right, Harlem Renaissance began, and I could find out my research on that. So I could find out like the dates and the times. Right, and so we can kind of add in information there. Also, right after that, I can add a photo. And so I could add in photos to kind of go with it. So maybe I want to add a photo of Harlem. So I could add text, I can add photos. Right? And so if I want to find, if I add a photo in there, that one cost me money because it's got the little crown sign on it. So I have to find something that's free. Looks like they're kind of getting more and more premium, so we'll kind of get there. Now, one of the fun things to do with videos or with pictures is if I do the, I can kind of change the picture and I can move it around. If I choose the fill screen aspect, I can add words, the captions. I could add words onto the picture that way. So I can add words onto my pictures. So that's kind of fun too. And but there is a limit to how many letters you can use for the picture, for the fill screen option. So I'm just kind of adding pictures, adding words. I'm using the plus signs at the bottom. Right, so there's videos. I can change it to a grid view, split layout. There's different little options to use that way. Right, and so when I'm all done, again, I kind of hit the share button and I can publish and make my link. And so when I publish and make my link, that's when I, again, you have to pick a category. So I'll say like education. And then it says create link. So I'll go ahead and hit the link, create a link. Then I'm going to copy the link and add it to the Google Classroom. And so that's easy for the students to add to the Google Classroom, and then I can easily look at their creation that way as well. So go ahead and we'll practice with the web page. So it's 10:57. So we'll give you 11:15. So 11:15, go ahead and practice making a web page. You can add words, pictures. Again, so the web page I kind of use with any kind of like research. If they're like looking for information and they got to put the information onto some sort of product, right? So instead of and this would be like a lot of information. So instead of just a paper, they could add it with the different, the web page there. Okay. You could, beginning of the year, just have the students kind of create a web page about themselves, right? And they could have like their interests and their family and their places they lived. And so you could maybe do it that way as well. And Kathleen says, Google Classrooms, normally they set up the Google Classrooms for us. So that's normally at the beginning of the year. So again, I'll be around. So if you have questions, let me know. I'll kind of show some old samples, some more old ones of things I've kind of created.
you don't need to actively save it, right? Everything that you create will just be saved on your account.
Correct. Yeah, everything saves automatically, and so
Okay.
it just goes to their projects. So that makes it great for the students.
Thanks.
And then you might check with the share option. I believe students can work on this together with the share option. It's not always easy, but they should be able to share the project with another, and then they can kind of work on this on their own computers together. Or they can, gather around one computer, whichever works best. So as you're working on the web page here, so what I like about this web page is it's real world. It's a real world experience. This is not just something for students. It's professionals will use this. I know the Chamasol Tennis Club I'm a member at. They use Adobe Spark web or Adobe Express web pages to put out their newsletters. Right, and so real businesses use this, so that gives the students, real applicable skills for the real world, and it helps them, with their, public services, customer service, relations, and kind of using real world experience. So this will help them out that way as well. And it's not extreme; it's not the most difficult thing to use either. So students are able to grasp the idea, be able to make something pretty professional looking in a relatively easy manner. All right, so with the Adobe Spark, we made a video and a web page, and so then the other aspect of Adobe Express I use is a post, which would be like a digital poster. So you kind of, as you're making your lessons, you kind of decide, what do I want the students to create, right? So is it something like a advertisement where they can make a video for, or is it like a research report or something that I can make a web page, or could be like a post, and so that would be like a graphic, so a digital poster. So I probably use the post or the graphic part the most in the classroom. So if I want the students to just kind of create something, a little poster, relatively easy, we go there and we can make a post or a graphic pretty quickly and easily, and it just kind of shows their knowledge. So with the Adobe Spark, I use the post or graphic to create digital posters, and students can easily combine photos and words, and it could be something simple like a meme. All you need is like a little quote. So sometimes if we're reading something, I have the students choose their favorite quotes and put a picture with it, and so it could be something simple that way. I have the students make movie posters. So if we're reading a story, like an Edgar Allan Poe story, I have them make a movie poster of it. And so they kind of create like a little scary movie poster. Poetry, so I'll make posts and graphics for poetry. So I'll have the students write their own poem and then add a little picture to go with it. I've done that myself with my own poetry, and so I can make like a Facebook post. So I put my own poetry out on Facebook or Instagram. So there's different things you can do that way. Students like to make wanted posters. So like we're reading To Kill a Mockingbird, so we make a wanted poster for the murder of Bob Ewell, or other wanted posters. They kind of like that one. Advertisements. So there's lots of different like little poster graphics. And what I like about Adobe Spark or Adobe Express for posts and graphics is it takes time, it saves time, right? So we can make a relatively professional looking post or graphic in 10, 15 minutes, right? Sometimes the students, when they're drawing something, they could spend hours like on, I don't know, just like a flag or something, could spend hours. This way, it makes it relatively easy. It saves paper, right? So everything's digital. So I don't need like big posters, and I don't need a place to store all this paper at the end. So it's all on the Google Classroom, so I can kind of go back and save it as well. If I'm doing like a project or something, I want them to show this to the whole classroom, I just put it on the LCD projector. And so it's they see something and it's very kind of professional looking, and they get it kind of showed off on the LCD projector that way. What I like about this is it's kind of easy for beginners. So if you have very little technical skill, right, you can do something as simple as typing in a few words and adding a picture, and it's relatively easy. But if you're really artistic and advanced and really computer adept, you can be as advanced as you want to be, right? So it's kind of a moment to learn, lifetime to master. So I like it for that. So for example, in junior year, there's a book we read called Their Eyes Were Watching God. So after kind of reading the book, I had the students create a post or a graphic. And so I would give them an option. So they could create an advertisement poster or notice that would have appeared in Zora Neale Hurston's Their Eyes Were Watching God. So they could create an advertisement for Joe Stark's store. So he has like a little country store. Or create an advertisement for a blues club in Jacksonville. Or create a warning for a hurricane. So, kind of using information, people, and events from the novel in your post creation. And so for posts, they need to download the post as a PDF and then add the PDF to the Google Classroom. That's the hardest part for students. So the students have a difficult time in the downloading as a PDF, then adding the PDF to the Google Classroom. So that one you kind of need to help the students out with the most. Okay. So for example, this is some of the posts the students made for the story of Their Eyes Were Watching God. Okay. And so for this one, there's the story deals with a mad dog outbreak. And so they add some words, right? So come get your rabies shot for only 5 cents. Don't be the one to put your life in jeopardy. So they could add some words to, and then the picture. So relatively easy, right? So they could make this in 10, 15 minutes. And a lot of times on the posters, they would take, a half hour, an hour to make a poster. So it's relatively, saves kind of time that way as well. Okay. And then we have the picture. This would be an advertisement for the country store. And so they could, it says, whatever you need, we got. If you're a little lost or not quite sure what you're looking for, Janie can help fit your needs. An Eatonville convenience store. So you can add some pictures to kind of go with the movie and the kind of words. And so you can kind of move the words around and such. All right, so we can create a poster graphic. So again, you go to Adobe Spark and log in with the Gmail account, and we'll choose a template from scratch and then add that as well. All right, and let me go ahead. Before we do that, there's a little video clip I had the tech teacher create on how to download an assignment from Google Classroom and then add it to the Google Classroom. So I'll take a look at that.
Here's how you upload a document that you saved to your computer to Google Classroom to turn in an assignment. It's a pretty simple process, but here's what you do. You go to the assignment that you're looking to turn in, that you're looking to submit to, and I'm going to open up just a random one here. And if you wanted to add an assignment, say you added a Canva poster, an Adobe Spark creation, and you downloaded it to your computer, all you need to do is go to this button where it says add or create. You hit that button and then you click file. When you click file, a window is going to pop up to ask you to upload. You'll see the term upload right here. You want to click this blue browse button, and up will pop your assignment or your files. You will have to find out where your file is saved. If you saved it to your desktop, you want to look for your desktop. If you saved it to a certain area, you have to remember where it's saved to. Maybe it's saved to your downloads folder. In this case, I saved my topic to the desktop. So I'm going to select my image, hit open, and it will now attach. And you can see here what I selected, it attached. It's right here. I could double check by opening it to make sure it's there. There it is. It's attached to the assignment, and then all I have to do is hit turn in. And when I hit turn in, that attachment is there.
All right, so I kind of showed that little video to the students. For some reason, the downloading to a PDF and then uploading it to the Google Classroom, that seems to trick the students the most there. So I kind of show that to the students first. All right, so to make a digital poster, so again, I go to the homepage, Adobe Express, and I hit the plus button. And this time, we're going to make a graphic. So different things you could make, right? So, so we're going to make a graphic. So I'll choose a graphic. And there's going to be different options. So you kind of tell the students, you know, what type of graphic they want to make. And so there's lots of different kind of graphics they could choose. So there's popular. So a square, that one's pretty good. A lot of times I have them make a poster. You can landscape it. They can make a Facebook post, Instagram one. Different little things to choose from. Right, so there's different prints. They could, you know, choose whatever size they want there. We could also customize it, so they can make it as big as you want. But for today, maybe just we can start off with a square. So I'll choose a square or a poster, and I hit next. Now, as it kind of gets loaded, the tools are on the left and the right. And they keep adjusting this, so sometimes it's a little bit different that way. Okay. Over on the left is going to be our main tools. Templates are a lot of fun. So if you're making, like in Romeo and Juliet, we made an invitation to the masquerade. So I typed in the template, I looked for an invitation, and so we can adjust and change the words to match an invitation. Also in Romeo and Juliet, we made a wedding invitation for the Romeo and Juliet's wedding. And so you can type in wedding invitation, type in, see what you have there. Templates, you can also find a wanted posters. So the students like to make wanted posters. So templates are a lot of fun. So if the students can't figure out like how to organize it, you can start with the template. But for me, I always maybe start off small, something easy. So I could type in some text. And so I can type in some text that they like. And so maybe we could just do like a meme. And so you can kind of add in your text and a picture, right? And so maybe we could do, maybe we could, if I'm doing Romeo and Juliet, so I'll type in arise for sun and kill the envious moon. And so I type in my little quote, my text, and then over on the right is the different little things we could do with it, right? So we can change the color of the text, we can change the font, we can change the font size. There's the we can make it left align, right align. There's the shading, shape, shadows. There is lots and lots of things you could do with the text. So if you're really artistic and really into the fonts and stuff, you can get with that. Right, so it could be something very simple, or for those that are pretty adept, they can work on changing their text around. Then I could add a photo. So I can add a photo to the my little text box here. So if I'm just going to make a meme, right? And so if I want to choose the sun, so arise for sun and kill the envious moon. So if I want to use that, I could pick my my sun here. So I don't know. So I could choose a photo to go with my text. All right, so now with the photo, if I click on the photo, I can add it to the backgrounds. I can replace it. I can change it, blur it. Again, there's lots of different little things I could choose, right? So there's many things I could use with this picture. Right, but so it's relatively quick, right? So I can choose a quote and add a picture, and there's my meme there. Different things you could also add. You can add shapes. Right, and other things as well. Let's see, over on the right, there's something called layout. So you could change the layout of the picture. So if you want to like make a movie poster or something, you could add grids and boxes and shapes that way. There's also something called design. Design could add more artistic variations to it as well. So there are many things you could change and do to the meme here. So I'll have the students start off something basic like a meme. So I choose a quote or write a poem and add a picture with it. Then from that we will go on to adding more pictures and words. So we'll make like a movie poster, or we'll go on to a wanted poster. So it could, for this one, we can always start off something very kind of brief. So start off the beginning of the year, just a quote and a picture. And then as you go along, the students become more adept. You can make more complex posters as well. When they're all done, when they find something they make, we hit the download button. And then I always have them, it doesn't really matter, PNG, PDF. So I have them choose something to download, and then I'll have them hit the start the download, and then they have to upload it to the Google Classroom. So again, for some reason, students have the hardest time downloading something and then uploading it to the Google Classroom. So that one they need, that one it's good for the teacher to kind of walk around and help them out there as well, right? What I like about this, right? So it's all online, so saves time. For those students that are not really artistic, they can create something artistically and professionally relatively easily, right? And so it kind of works that way. And then those students that are really artistic, the students can really get in there and choose the exact color and the exact shape of the fonts, and they can do a lot of works with that one as well. All right, so go ahead. We'll take 15 minutes here, so 12:45. Go ahead and make a graphic. So you can choose a graphic there to create.
Steve, I accidentally like doubled my text. How do I get rid of that? It's like
Yeah, so it might be kind of slow here. The Adobe Express might be slow since we're on lots of tabs and stuff. So I would just go to the text box at the, if I click on my text,
You can use the back button too, the little half arrow.
yeah, if I click on my text to the back button, and then over on the right where it says edit text, I can delete the double. Right, there's the trash can, so you can delete something. So that's what I would choose, is the click on the text you want to eliminate and delete it. But I know, yeah, in the classroom, if we got like 30 Chromebooks working and the Wi-Fi is slow, it can, it's always like 5th period or 6th period where the Wi-Fi shuts down. This sometimes gets a little frustrating for the students. All right. So I was trying to bring up the movie posters. So the students, I think, have the most fun with making the movie poster. I have them, if we read like the Cask of Amontillado and Edgar Allan Poe story, I have them make a movie poster with, put the title and the author, and they have to write in a catchphrase, and they have to put in like some movie critics, like scariest movie of the year, I couldn't sleep for a week, or 5 stars, I had to sleep with the lights on, something like that. And then they add little pictures to go with it. And so the students have a good time making their posters, and this is a great creative way, right? So instead of they could write an essay about suspense in Edgar Allan Poe stories, or you can have them be a little more creative and create like a movie poster that kind of shows the suspense in the story. And helps with the classroom management. The students are kind of involved with and making something, and so they're more hands-on. And with the posts and the graphics, right? So they make something that's real, and making invitations or wedding announcements or things, something that's in real life, and they could use a professional tool like Adobe, and they make something that's very professional looking. So they can change the font and the pictures, and it looks really good in relatively short amount of time. So 30 minutes, they can make a really good poster graphic that's professional looking, and the students show some pride in it as well. All right, so this is Adobe, right? And so Adobe offers all these different little tools to use, and so I'll kind of use all of them. There's another website that's very similar to Adobe called Canva, and I'll use both. And so like one semester, we'll have the students get used to Adobe, and they're start off with that, doing really well. And then the next semester, I'll use something called Canva. So Canva, very similar to Adobe, and it's a way to create PowerPoint slides, posters, very similar to Adobe Spark. So we can also take a look at Canva. And so let me go ahead and see if I can get this link into the chat. All right, so if everybody can go to canva.com, and canva.com, again, log in with your Google accounts, and it's very similar to Adobe Spark. And it's just another tool for creating digital posters and graphics. And I kind of get the students to use both. So one semester we'll do Adobe Spark, another semester we'll do Canva. And it's just a way of, just gives them another tool to use. So when they're making their posters. So, when they're in another classroom and they have to make a poster or something, they get the options. So it gives them more tools to use. All right. So here at Canva, very similar. We have you have your projects where you kind of things you're saved, and your home button here. And over kind of in the middle, we can type in what you want to work on, right? So there's print products. So those print products, those will be like the posters. So if we're making posters on I've done for To Kill a Mockingbird, and at the end of the story, the kids go to a Halloween fair, and so I had them make a little poster promoting the Halloween pageants at the school. Right? Also, there's the presentation. So the students want to make PowerPoint or Google Slides. They could use the presentation buttons. Right? Video. I haven't tried the video option too much as well. But this is similar to Adobe Spark, but will have different little projects to use. So let's see if this project thing is working better. Maybe not so much. But if I choose a template, we can type in a poster to make there, right? So if we want to make a, we can make a invitation or something. So if we're reading Romeo and Juliet, we can make a wedding invitation. So I'll click on the wedding. And so with the Romeo and Juliet, I'll have them create a wedding invitation and kind of the place that it's at and the presider. And then I'll also have them write in a poem, a little wedding poem to go with that. Right. So again, they can kind of pick and choose if there's a template they want to use, they can choose that, right? Or if not, they can choose something, a new one as well. So as it's kind of loading up, again, similar to Adobe Spark, all the tools will be kind of over on the left. And there's the text button, so the add text. Upload, so if you have pictures you want to download from the internet, you can upload that onto there. There's the elements and things to fix up as well. Right? So I can pick and choose, and if I want to write in Romeo and Juliet, I can kind of write in when would they want to be married, and I could change the dates and kind of add in my information. I can also kind of, you know, I could add to that, and then I could write my a little wedding poem or a love poem for Romeo and Juliet. Right, and so then I could also kind of move this around. Right, so we're kind of running out of time here. So we'll give you a few minutes here to kind of explore Canva. It's going to be very similar to Adobe Spark. Then again, when I'm all done, at the top right, there's the share button. And I have the students download and download the file and then upload it to the Google Classroom there. All right, so I'll have you log on to the Canva. You can explore that for a little bit. And then when you're all ready to go, I'll put the evaluation link onto the, I'll put the evaluation link onto the chat as well. So go ahead, and looks like we got about 15 minutes for this session. So you can explore Canva and create a little post, try out the templates or movie posters, and then you can fill in the evaluation. Right? So thank you very much for being with me, and I hope you are, I encourage you to try out these different devices for creating posters and websites and videos. It's very creative. It's a lot of fun for the students. The students can work together, they collaborate, they create, very hands-on, real life, and worthwhile, I think, for the students, so that the students enjoy it. And it's going to make the time in their classroom much more enjoyable as well. And so we have a lot of fun creating in my classroom. So that makes it fun.
Hey, I had a question.
Yes, go ahead.
On the website from Adobe Express or Spark,
Uh-huh.
I was going to have it said create a button. There was like a button that you could add to the website.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I believe I haven't tried that one.
I was going to try
like is that a link to another? Is that a link to another web page?
That's what it looked like. I was trying to add. I'm doing a scavenger hunt at our local park, and so I was trying to add a link to access the list. And I used Adobe to create like a quick list for the scavenger hunt, but I didn't know how to like attach it to the page.
Yeah, I haven't tried the button yet. So,
but yeah, it was a web page. I tried creating saving it as a web page, my list, but it was like a file location. It wasn't an actual link.
All right.
So that's what it'll look like, the button text when you click on it, but then you have to have an actual website. So I was looking for some way to add a list or add like another document.
Yeah, that one I'm not going to be sure on.
I guess I have to find a way to save it as a web page so you can, or I don't know. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, it looks like if you hit preview, then it activates the button.
But as of right now, there's no way to add like a document or something to click on so you can access that scavenger list.
You want to add a document to the.
Yeah. So in there, in Adobe, I created a little page, and it had pictures of animals and then just a name on it and a little check. But I didn't know how to add that to the web page.
Um, so maybe download it as a photo and then upload it.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking?
I'll probably have to upload it, but then it'll just be, it wouldn't be like a link, because I wanted to do, I wanted to have the web page as scavenger hunts for all of our county. And so I was gonna have like different parks, and they can click on, you know, like Toro Park, they click Toro Park, and that scavenger list would come up for that park.
Yeah, that one's gonna need somebody smarter than me. So somebody a little more adept with it than I am. So, but yeah, keep playing around with that one. See what happens.
All right, thanks.